A smart strategic concept in chess is called building a fortress. You simply make a position that's impregnable. You cannot, like the MC Hammer song, can't touch this. And it's something that's often used in endgames, but sometimes even in the middle game it can appear. And I'm going to show you an example here to to give a vivid explanation of the things you have to look for in a fortress. Basically, you have to make sure there are no way in, that it's a bunker. And we have a game here. It's against the very actual player Anish Giri, who's playing in the candidates at the moment, and is of course in the world top 5, and is a very strong player. In 2013, he was also above 2700, but he was not nearly as good, and I think he would not have let this happen today. Anyway, let's see the game. I'm black against the Anish Giri. We go d4, d5, c4, c6. This is the Slav, the slave. I never understood which one was the correct one. I think it was actually, they're named after slaves that came with the Vikings to Russia and Eastern Europe. And this is the semi-Slav, and bishop d5, and that's the aggressive line, and you can play the anti-Maran gambit with d takes c4 here, or you can play the Moscow with h6, or you can be a chicken like SB Hansen, who played knight bd7 and said, okay, I was just bluffing. I don't know the sharp lines, and you know a lot of theory, and you have your cloud engines and stuff, so let's just keep this sane. e3, and here is the so-called Cambridge Springs variation, which is not so bad, and there are not that much theory yet in this line. The white has two options here. You can take on d5, and I think this is the current main line to take on d5, or you can play like Giri did, knight takes d2. And here black has two options. You can play bishop b4, this move, which I think is considered best by theory. The idea behind queen a5 is, of course, the pin down here and the X-ray effect on the bishop, making knight e4 and bishop b4 and stuff like that kind of annoying. So white has to play a little bit careful. There are a lot of tricks in this variation. Anyway, I took here. And that is giving up the center, but it is attacking here, and if he moves it, I'll play b5 and keep the pawn, or knight b6, or maybe knight d5 or something. I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway, the main line is to take here, and we see immediately that white gave up the bishop pair. So black got something for his pension. But before the pension comes the middle game, and Giri was playing very fast and was probably very well prepared. And I think he is, at the moment, maybe the best prepared player in the world. So don't mess with Giri in the opening. And the problem is he's also gotten very strong in the middle game, and probably also the end game, even though I still think that's his weakest spot. Anyway, queen here, we keep on moving, going back. And of course, white has more space. This is annoying. And getting this guy down here to a good position is not easy. d3, and this was, I think, I'm not sure it was a novelty, but I think it was a novelty. I think they didn't do this before Giri did it first, and I think it's a really good move. And I think that after this here, white is already better. He controls the center. He has a strong Catalan bishop here, and okay, black does have the bishop pair, but you don't want to open the position for the bishop pairs in this position, because then you will be blown away. So, but also in general, bishops kind of prefer stable position. Bishop d7, all very normal. The idea is simply to put it down here. And I will try to exchange a lot of pieces, and hopefully my bishops will be strong in the ending. But before the ending, White also have some ideas. Here comes the thing, and he wants to make an attack. And b5, and I'm not so happy about b5. This was not part of the plan, but the thing is, I had to get the knight out. It's really annoying. He was in this position. He was threatening this, and the other knight in here, and there's a juicy hole in black's position on d6, and then his king side will be terribly weak. Also, you cannot allow a knight on d6 for so long. So before it could settle on d6, I play b5, but of course it's hopefully weakens this, and there's also weakens this square, which is also a problem. Okay, now the pin here is intolerable. Getting out, a3, rook a3, and rook a b8, and I'm hoping slowly to get some counterplay. If I could just get rid of this c pawn, I would be fine. And I will have the bishop pair and so on. Of course, and he plays e5 and knight d5. And of course, white is better here, because after this move, he is controlling this square, and that's annoying to have this control because this one is weak. But okay, it is shielded by this, and this one is covering it. So even though this bishop doesn't look too good, it does have an important role. Bishop e8, knight c5, and of course he's better. Good, all his pieces are better than mine, but I can exchange some of them here, and of course he has the bishop pair. Now there's another problem, potential problem here. That the bishop is coming, and still this knight going out here is not so good. But I did have an important idea in mind with b4, getting counterplay, getting this one out. And here Giri makes a big mistake. It's a very natural mistake. It's I can forgive him for making it, but it is nevertheless a big mistake. He should play maybe knight b3, or take on b4, or play I don't know, something, queen e1 or something different than what he did. He played the most natural move in the position, which is a4, and he missed the idea of the fortress. So here, black to play and draw, and be very happy for playing board one with black against Holland and getting a draw. Here it comes. Take. What? And take. Oops, there's a pin. Here, 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 and the now very important move, a5. And this is a fortress. White cannot make. White is, of course, clearly better, controls the open files, has the better bishop, has the better rook, but he cannot make progress. So it will be a draw. And all you have to do is remember, whatever happens on the king side, make sure not to open any files. So after d4, very important move, h6, h4, very important move, g6. And if he goes h5, g5, I'll go h5, and if he goes h5, oops, he didn't go h5, so I will take that back. Sorry. Play king f2. No matter what he does, you do not open files. So king f8, king e2, rook c8, and as we can see here, there's nothing to see here. King f8, rook d1, king d7, g5, h5, rook d6, king f8, bishop d3, and now the king is fine here. Bishop a6, rook c7, bishop c4, bishop d7, b3, bishop e8, e4, bishop d7, king e3, bishop e8, king d4, bishop d7. The king has no access points, the rook has no access point, and the bishop has no access point. So it's a draw. On all account, white is better, but he just can't move forward. This is the fortress. We will probably have another video about it. It's kind of a cool concept, just having a sort of a bad position like black here, but white can't do anything. One of the players at the top who's an expert or was an expert on fortresses was Vladimir Kramnik. Had an excellent sense for when the position was holdable. Anyway, thank you for watching. This has been GM Talks, building a fortress against Anish Giri in 2013. And I'm sure Giri would never have allowed this to happen in the recent years. Thank you for watching.